Do you feel that moment of dread when you are sitting in your favorite chair, ready to stand up, but your body just won't cooperate? You try to lean forward, you push with your arms, and your knees feel like they are filled with sand. They are heavy, stiff, and utterly unreliable. You look around quickly, hoping the grandchildren haven't seen your struggle. That moment, that secret, silent struggle just to get off the sofa, is terrifying. It is a painful reminder that independence is fragile. And if you're anything like me, the biggest fear is not just getting older, but losing the ability to stand up straight, move through your own home with dignity, or catch yourself if you trip. When your legs begin to fail, every chore becomes a hazard. Every bus step is a mountain. Every night, you worry about falling in the dark hallway. We often blame this weakness entirely on age. We accept it as inevitable, thinking, well, I'm 70 now. This is just how it is. But that is simply not true. You see, the strength we need to push up from a low chair, that essential, functional strength that keeps us moving, is not just about lifting weights. It is deeply connected to what we are eating, every single day. There are 3 foods that are so common in our kitchens, so seemingly harmless, that they are secretly stealing the fuel from your leg muscles and replacing it with inflammation. They are making that climb out of the armchair far harder than it needs to be. We are going to name these 3 culprits today, and more importantly, we are going to talk about the simple, powerful swaps you can make immediately. Swaps that start rebuilding muscle and energy, often in just a few weeks. This is not about complicated diets. This is about making wiser choices so you can live out your years in your own home with your dignity intact. Let's start right now, because the first food culprit is often the foundation of the breakfast we were taught was comforting. The sneaky culprit, number 1, the white ghost, the refined inflamer. Think about your pantry. What did you grab this morning? A bagel, a slice of white toast, maybe a nice warm muffin, or a bowl of crunchy processed cereal with milk. For decades, we've relied on these quick, easy carbohydrates. They are cheap, they taste good, and they are fast energy. But for the aging body, highly refined grains, the flour that has had all the goodness bleached out of it, are doing 2 destructive things to your legs. First, they spike your blood sugar like a rocket. This massive spike forces your body to overproduce insulin. When this happens too often, the excess sugar starts damaging the tiny blood vessels that feed nutrients to your muscles. Think of it like sludge getting stuck in the pipes leading to your engine. Second, and this is crucial for seniors, these foods lack the fiber and nutrients necessary to fight chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the invisible enemy that attacks your muscle tissue, slowly breaking down the protein fibers that you need to be strong. When you eat that big white bagel or that sugary cereal, you are essentially pouring gasoline onto the fire of muscle weakness. Your muscles are starving for real protein and nutrients, and all you are giving them is quick, messy fuel that causes damage on the way out. This is why, even if you try to exercise, you feel that deep ache and weakness. The inflammation is always a step ahead, eroding your gains. The simple swap for dignity. The good news is that the solution is incredibly simple, and it begins with fiber. You must trade those highly refined, low-fiber white flours for dense, truly whole grains. Instead of the white bread or the processed breakfast cereal, switch to things like steel-cut oats, buckwheat, or genuine whole grain bread, the kind you can actually feel the grains in. Why oats? They release energy slowly. They stop those sugar spikes that damage your vessels, and they contain special compounds that actually help fight inflammation rather than feeding it. This swap ensures that your muscles get a steady, clean supply of energy throughout the day, giving them a chance to rebuild and resist inflammation. Imagine standing up from that chair and feeling a solid, steady push from your legs, instead of that wobbly dread. This one change, moving from the white ghost to the slow, steady fiber, is the first step toward reclaiming that confidence. But we have 2 more culprits to discuss, and the next one is probably hiding in your refrigerator right now. It is often disguised as a healthy drink, something we relied on for vitamins. but which is actually one of the fastest ways to lose functional leg strength. It's a warning every senior needs to hear, and we will cover that next. We looked closely at the struggle, didn't we? That moment of quiet panic when the sofa feels like quicksand. That small embarrassment when you realize you need a hand, just to transition from sitting to standing. That frustration is a signal. It's your body asking for a shift in fuel. It's time to expose the first food culprit that is secretly dismantling your leg strength and sabotaging your balance day by day. The first hidden danger is the speed-run carbohydrate. I'm talking about white flour, sugary cereals, and those tempting pastries or packaged snacks that promise quick comfort. Many of us grew up relying on these items. They were cheap, filling, and easy. But now in our 60s, these quick carbohydrates are betraying us. Here is why. They spike your blood sugar faster than almost anything else. That massive, sudden spike forces your body into crisis mode, releasing powerful stress hormones and creating immediate, widespread inflammation. Think of inflammation like slow-burning rust inside your joints and muscles. It doesn't just cause pain, it actively prevents your body from repairing itself. It hinders the signals that tell your leg muscles to stay strong. Your muscles, the ones responsible for giving you that solid push off the sofa, are quietly being starved of repair materials because the constant inflammation is stealing the resources. You eat that large bowl of sugary flakes or that thick slice of white toast for breakfast, and by mid-morning, you're already speedrunning toward a state of weakness. This isn't about dieting for weight loss. This is about feeding your functional strength, the dignity of getting up on your own. If you want to move from wobbly to stable, we must swap the speedrun fuel for the slow burn power source. The solution is wonderfully simple and often much cheaper. We need fiber and dense, lasting protein first thing in the morning. Instead of the white bread, switch immediately to steel-cut oats, or maybe a simple bowl of whole eggs. Eggs are one of nature's perfect protein sources, accessible, affordable, and easily digested. If you love toast, try thin slices of whole grain bread with visible seeds. Or better yet, skip the bread entirely and eat your eggs with a handful of spinach. This change reduces inflammation instantly. It keeps your blood sugar steady, giving your leg muscles the calm environment they need to repair and stay robust. Imagine standing up from the chair on Sunday morning, feeling the quiet strength in your thighs instead of the struggle in your knees. That feeling of relief is worth more than any pastry. Now, let's move to the second enemy of senior mobility. This one doesn't spike your sugar. It simply makes your legs heavier. I call this the water anchor. This hidden culprit is the extreme, unnecessary level of sodium found in many convenience foods that we rely on heavily as we age. Think about canned soups, frozen dinners, many deli meats, and prepackaged sauces. While salt is necessary, the amounts in these foods are designed for flavor, not for your 60-plus body. When your body processes too much sodium, it panics and holds onto water to dilute the salt concentration. This fluid must go somewhere. It pools disproportionately in your lower body, your ankles, calves, and feet. This leads to stiffness and that puffy feeling, but more critically, it adds physical dead weight to the very limbs that need to be nimble and strong. If your legs are carrying even 2 extra pounds of retained fluid, every movement, stepping off the bus, climbing the single stair, or pushing yourself up from the sofa, is instantly harder. You're lifting excess water with your muscles. You aren't tired because you're old. You're tired because your legs are carrying anchors. This issue also disrupts your sleep. Too much sodium late in the day causes fluid to shift when you lie down, which is often why you wake up feeling restless or needing to use the bathroom multiple times overnight. The solution here is simple awareness at the grocery store. Commit to reading labels for the word sodium. Look for low sodium or no added salt versions of your staples, especially soups and broths. When you cook at home, use fresh herbs and spices like garlic, pepper, oregano, or rosemary instead of reaching for the salt shaker. Your taste buds will adapt quickly, and your legs will thank you immediately. Less fluid retention means lighter legs, less stiffness, and a much cleaner push-off when it's time to get going. You feel secure, not bogged down. We have addressed the speed damage, sugar and white flour, and the weight damage, excess salt. These two changes alone can make a huge difference in your daily mobility within weeks. But the third hidden food culprit is perhaps the most insidious, because it often masquerades as a healthy kitchen staple. It doesn't just inflame, it actively damages the internal wiring of your cells, reducing their power output. This final danger is hiding right now in the oil you are using to cook your eggs and vegetables. We need to talk about which fats truly protect your independence, and which ones accelerate aging in your bones and brain. We've established the central truth. The moment you can't get up from the sofa easily, the moment you hesitate on the stairs, that is the siren warning about fading independence. We already pinpointed the first two enemies of functional strength, the hidden sugars in our seemingly harmless drinks, and the inflammatory load from heavy, deep-fried comfort foods that block nutrient absorption. Now, let's tackle the third common food habit that secretly weakens senior legs. This one is perhaps the most insidious because many of us rely on it when we are tired or when we are eating alone. I'm talking about highly processed white flour products and nutrient-dead convenience meals. Think about the simple white bread, the plain white crackers, or the instant mashed potatoes. These foods are easy to chew, gentle on the stomach, and quick to prepare. They feel like comfort. But here's the painful truth. These highly refined grains are almost completely stripped of the fiber, B vitamins, and protein needed to fuel your muscles. They give you a very brief spike of energy, that sugar rush feeling, followed by a swift and painful drop. When you consistently choose these simple starches over protein and quality fiber, you are starving your muscles of the building blocks they need. Your body is constantly trying to repair itself, whether you've spent the day gardening or just walking through the supermarket. That repair process requires protein. If you're feeding your system empty carbohydrates, your muscle fibers literally atrophy faster than they can repair. It's like trying to build a strong fence with cheap, flimsy wood. It won't stand the smallest storm. If you find yourself needing to rock 3 times before you can push up from the dining chair, it's not just age. It's usually an indication that you've been neglecting the raw materials required for daily functional strength. This is the key to turning this around. We must move past the fear of cooking and shift our focus entirely to rebuilding. This is not a diet meant to lose weight. This is a dietary shift focused on gaining power and dignity back. Here are the 3 powerful swaps that directly counter the weakness caused by those 3 common destructive foods. These are simple changes you can implement today without complicated recipes. Swap strategy 1. Stabilize the sugar. If the weakness in your legs comes from those energy crashes, we must stabilize your blood sugar. Instead of keeping sodas, flavored water, or high-sugar fruit juice in the refrigerator, switch entirely to plain water, unsweetened tea, or water infused naturally with lemon and mint. And when you crave something sweet after dinner, replace that slice of cake or that packaged cookie with a handful of fresh berries, strawberries, blueberries, or raspberries. They are rich in antioxidants that fight inflammation, and their natural sugar is bundled with fiber, which slows absorption. This small shift alone reduces the systemic inflammation that makes your joints ache and your muscles feel heavy. Swap strategy 2. Cut the greasy burden. The second swap addresses the heavy load that sits in your system for hours, slowing you down and blocking nutrient uptake. Stop frying chicken, cutting fat off steaks, or reaching for those heavily processed side dishes like creamy potato salad or French fries. Instead, pivot to healthy, baked options that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Think baked salmon, canned sardines mixed with a little vinegar, or lean chicken breast cooked in an air fryer or slow cooker. If you love the crunch, roast vegetables like broccoli, carrots, or asparagus with just a sprinkle of olive oil and salt. The fiber will keep your digestive system calm and happy, and your energy will remain steady. Swap strategy 3. The protein priority rule. This is the most critical swap for functional strength and easy rising from the sofa. You must prioritize protein at every single meal. If you have a meal that is only refined starch, like a bowl of pasta or plain cereal, you are effectively losing muscle that day. Your swap strategy here is simple. Use the size of your palm as your measuring guide. Ensure that at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you consume a source of high-quality protein that is roughly the size and thickness of your palm. Breakfast swap. Instead of cold cereal or white toast, eat 2 scrambled eggs, a cup of Greek yogurt, or a bowl of oatmeal mixed with protein powder and nuts. Lunch swap. Instead of a sandwich on white bread, have half a can of tuna or a bowl of hearty bean or lentil soup. Dinner swap. Always pair your vegetables with that palm-sized portion of fish, chicken, or lean meat. When you start ensuring that your legs, your foundation, are getting the protein and fiber they need, you will start feeling lighter, more balanced, and you will find yourself standing up from that low chair without needing to push off your knees. This isn't just about food. This is about dignity. It is about buying yourself years of freedom where you don't have to depend on others just to get the groceries or stand up after enjoying a movie. We've now covered the physical foundations of remaining strong and independent in your 60s and beyond. But strength is not only physical. True sabiduría do idoso, the wisdom of aging well, requires securing both your body and your home life. We must protect your peace, your money, and your emotional well-being, especially when major changes happen, like living alone. In Part 4, we shift our focus from the kitchen to your paperwork and your emotional self-care. We will look at the one crucial financial document you must review this week, and the simple, daily ritual that prevents loneliness and social isolation from becoming a crippling enemy in your quiet home. Don't go anywhere. The final part is perhaps the most important for securing your peace of mind and long-term security. We have covered 2 big culprits that cause inflammation and energy crashes, making your joints stiff and your muscles slow to respond when you need them most. We talked about those refined sugars and those processed vegetable oils that sneak into almost everything on the supermarket shelf. But there is a third food element, perhaps the most surprising, that secretly weakens your muscles by disrupting the critical connection between your brain and your limbs. This culprit is excessive processed sodium. We are not talking about the tiny pinch of sea salt you add to your homemade eggs. We are talking about the vast amounts of cheap chemicalized sodium hidden in foods we buy for convenience. Think about those canned soups, the frozen dinners that seem so easy after a long day, the store-bought dressings, and even the sliced bread we grab every morning. When we age, our kidneys don't process sodium as efficiently. Too much sodium causes fluid retention, which strains your heart and restricts blood flow, carrying essential nutrients to your muscles. It also throws off your electrolyte balance, the tiny electrical signals that tell your legs, time to stand up. If your legs feel puffy or heavy at the end of the day, or if you feel dizzy when you try to rise quickly, excess sodium is often playing a silent role in that loss of functional strength. Now, let's pivot entirely from what harms you to what heals you. This is the good news. Making these 3 simple food swaps, the change from the weakeners to the builders, can start improving your stability and energy within just a few weeks. Remember the goal: getting up easily from that favorite armchair. Swap number 1, trading refined sugar for natural fuel. Instead of reaching for cookies, pastries, or sweet cereals, focus on real whole foods that give you slow-releasing energy. Look for a colorful variety of berries, strawberries, blueberries. They are low in sugar and packed with antioxidants that fight inflammation. Trade sugary desserts for a plain Greek yogurt with a tablespoon of honey or half a banana. This swap gives you protein and calcium, both vital components for muscle mass and bone protection. You need that protein to repair the small tears in your leg muscles after you've walked to the mailbox or climbed the stairs. Swap number 2, trading inflammatory oils for healthy fats. This swap is about using the right cooking mediums. Stop buying cheap vegetable, corn, and soybean oils. They are highly processed and fuel the chronic inflammation that makes your joints ache and your muscles feel dull. Instead, switch entirely to extra virgin olive oil for cold uses like salad dressings, and use avocado oil or a small amount of real butter for cooking. Crucially, bring in healthy fats directly from the source. Add avocado slices to your toast. Snack on walnuts or almonds. These healthy fats are essential for brain function, which means quicker reaction times and better balance when you unexpectedly stumble over the rug. Swap. Number 3. Trading processed sodium for potassium. This is your defense strategy against weak, heavy legs. You need foods rich in potassium and magnesium to help flush excess sodium and keep your muscle signals firing correctly. Instead of canned soups and processed ham, focus on potassium-rich powerhouses, sweet potatoes, white beans, cooked dry, not canned if you can manage it, spinach, and those wonderful bananas. Use fresh herbs like parsley, oregano, and garlic powder instead of salt blends when you cook. Buy low-sodium broths for your stews. This change alone will make you feel lighter on your feet and less reliant on grabbing the armrest to steady yourself. Think about what this means for your daily life. Imagine sitting down in your living room after finishing a small chore or after watching the Sunday game. When you decide to stand up, you don't have to brace yourself. You don't have to push off with both hands, straining and grunting. You simply decide, and your legs respond, smooth and stable. That smooth, responsive, stable movement is the immediate return on your investment in these simple food swaps. That feeling of confident rising, that is the return of your dignity and independence in the small, sacred space of your own home. These 3 swaps give your muscles and joints the clean fuel they need to keep you moving well past your 80s. But fuel alone is not enough. Even with the cleanest diet in the world, there is one common daily habit, something many of us stop doing entirely as we age, that guarantees the loss of your leg strength faster than any processed food. It causes your bones to thin and your balance to vanish. It's not just about spending hours in the gym. It's about a specific type of weight-bearing activity that signals to your body that your legs are still needed. If you stop doing this one crucial thing, your body responds by turning down your muscle power. In the next section, we are moving beyond nutrition to the most essential daily action for senior stability and independence, and how to do it safely at home, starting today. Don't go anywhere. This simple habit protects everything we have just discussed.